Cop kicks the Rock in the face, but the Rock caught his leg and make him regret. In a world overflowing with unbelievable encounters and unforgettable confrontations, some stories rise above the rest, not because they are filled with chaos, but because they expose the true strength, discipline, and unexpected humility hidden within the people we think we already know. Today's story unfolds around one of the most iconic figures alive. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a man celebrated for his power, charisma, and incredible presence. People admire him on screen, but few truly understand the depth of patience and restraint he carries off-screen. This story reveals that side, and then pushes it to the absolute limit. It all began on a regular afternoon in downtown Los Angeles, where the streets hummed with their usual mix of noise, energy, and unpredictability. Nobody expected trouble. Nobody expected drama. And certainly nobody expected a moment that would go viral across the entire planet. But life has a strange way of twisting ordinary days into extraordinary legends. What you're about to hear is intense, action-packed, emotional, and unexpectedly inspiring. It's the kind of story that grabs your attention from the very first moment and refuses to let you go. You will witness a cop whose pride outweighed his judgment, a misunderstanding that spiraled into a shocking confrontation, and The Rock. Calm, controlled, but unafraid, teaching a lesson that would shake the internet and the entire police department. If you enjoy gripping stories like this, don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and join our community, because many more powerful stories are coming your way. The sun was dipping toward the horizon as Dwayne Johnson stepped out of a charity center in downtown Los Angeles. He had just finished surprising kids with fitness equipment and new school supplies, leaving everyone smiling from ear to ear. The Rock loved moments like these, quiet, honest moments where nobody cared about fame or cameras. Just kindness. Just humans helping humans. He adjusted the strap of his backpack, preparing to walk toward his truck parked across the street. That was when he noticed the police lights. 2 patrol cars were parked diagonally, blocking the road. A crowd had begun to gather. Something was happening, but he didn't think much of it. In LA, police activity was nothing unusual. But then he heard the yelling. "Hey! You can't be standing there," a voice barked. At first, The Rock assumed the officer was speaking to someone else. He didn't look back. He continued walking down the sidewalk. "I said HEY," the voice repeated, louder, sharper, angrier. Now he turned. A police officer, young, tall, with that unmistakable swagger of someone who loved authority a bit too much, was marching straight toward him. His name tag read Officer Kelton. "Yeah, you," Kelton snapped. "Didn't you hear me? Step back behind the line. This area is restricted." The Rock looked around. There was a yellow caution line, but he was several feet behind it already. "I'm sorry, officer," he said calmly. "But I'm already behind the line." Kelton's face tightened. He wasn't used to being corrected. "Don't get smart with me," the cop growled. "Move back. Now." Dwayne blinked slowly. Confused, a little surprised, but still calm. "No problem," he said, taking a step back to avoid conflict. But Kelton wasn't done. The crowd was watching. Cameras were out. And Kelton, hungry for dominance, hungry for attention, felt challenged. He stepped closer, practically chest to chest with The Rock. "What are you even doing here?" Kelton demanded. "Trying to start trouble." The Rock raised an eyebrow. "Officer, I'm just heading to my car." "Don't lie to me," the cop snapped. "I saw you walk out of that building suspiciously." Dwayne looked down at himself, nothing suspicious about gym shorts, a t-shirt, and a backpack full of donated school supplies. Meanwhile, whispers spread through the crowd. "Is that The Rock? Why's the cop yelling at him? Is he serious right now?" Kelton noticed the murmurs, and it only added fuel to his ego. "Show me your ID," he demanded. Sure, The Rock said calmly. He reached slowly for his pocket. Because he knew how sensitive officers could be. But the moment his hand moved, Kelton shouted. Stop. Don't reach for anything. Dwayne froze. You just asked me for my ID. I said don't move. Now people started recording. Phones lifted. Eyes widened. Kelton, overwhelmed by the moment and terrified of losing control in front of a celebrity, made a decision he would regret for the rest of his life. Get down on the ground. Kelton yelled. Dwayne shook his head politely. Officer, I'm not resisting. I'm not a threat. We can talk. On the ground, the cop repeated. When The Rock didn't drop instantly, Kelton snapped. Something inside him, pride, anger, insecurity, exploded. The officer lunged forward, twisted his hips, and tried to deliver a full-force kick straight to The Rock's face. The crowd gasped. A woman screamed. A man shouted, "Hui! What are you doing?" But the kick never landed. Because The Rock caught the cop's leg in midair. Just caught it. Held it. Stopped it like it was nothing. Kelton's eyes went wide with shock. The Rock's grip was firm but controlled. He held the leg just enough to stop the strike, not enough to injure the officer. Officer, The Rock said quietly, this is not the way. Kelton, desperate and humiliated, tried to pull his leg back, but The Rock's hand didn't budge. Let go of me, he shouted. I will, Dwayne replied, if you calm down. Let go. Dwayne released the leg. But Kelton stumbled backward, completely off balance, almost falling. As the crowd erupted in disbelief, another officer rushed in. Kelton. What the hell are you doing? The second officer, Sergeant Morales, grabbed Kelton by the vest and pulled him back. He tried to attack me. Kelton barked. He assaulted me. Morales turned to The Rock, who stood with both hands raised peacefully. He didn't assault you, Morales said sharply. I saw everything. The crowd backed him up instantly. Yeah, we saw it too. You kicked first. He didn't do anything wrong. Kelton's face turned red with humiliation. The Rock took a slow breath. Sergeant, I don't want trouble. I just want to go to my car. Morales nodded. You're free to go. I apologize on behalf of the department. But Kelton wasn't finished. He lunged again, this time aiming to shove The Rock from behind. Morales reacted fast, grabbing him. Kelton, stop. The Rock turned, now looking directly into Kelton's eyes. This time, his expression had changed. Not angry. Not afraid. Just disappointed. Officer, he said softly, you almost ruined your career, and your life, over nothing. Kelton froze. Something in The Rock's tone, powerful, steady, and honest, cut deeper than any punishment could. Morales pulled Kelton away, yelling for backup to escort him to the patrol car. The crowd applauded as The Rock finally walked toward his truck. But he didn't drive away immediately. He sat behind the wheel for a long moment, thinking. He knew this wasn't the end. What happened today was going to explode online. There would be questions. Investigations. Headlines. Debates. And he would have to decide how to respond. For the rest of the evening, The Rock's mind replayed the confrontation again and again. The way Officer Kelton's face twisted with fear and pride, the moment the kick came flying toward him. The shock that swept through the crowd when he caught the strike with one hand. It all stayed with him. Back at home, Dwayne tried to distract himself by playing with his daughters, but even their laughter couldn't quiet the storm of thoughts inside him. He wasn't angry, anger burned fast and disappeared. What he felt was deeper than that. He felt responsibility. This wasn't about him. This was about everyone who didn't have the strength, the platform, or the voice he had. And he knew what was coming. By midnight, the video had already reached 4 million views online. By morning, it hit 20 million. By noon, major news channels were playing the clip on repeat. Talk shows debated it. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag Rock vs. Cop. Hashtag Caught the Kick. Hashtag Justice for the Rock. Hashtag Fire Kelton. Everyone had an opinion. Some praised the Rock's restraint. Others criticized the officer's behavior. And many demanded accountability. But the person who felt the weight the most was Officer Kelton himself. Kelton sat alone in a small interrogation room inside the precinct. His badge, gun, and vest had been taken away. His belt sat empty. His hands shook, not from anger, but from fear. His commanding officer, Captain Rourke, stepped into the room and closed the door. "Explain yourself," the captain said. Kelton swallowed. "It wasn't my fault. He provoked me. He challenged my authority. Stop." Kelton froze. Rourke leaned forward. "Do you have any idea what you've done? Do you know how many complaints we've received? Do you know how bad this looks for the entire department?" Kelton didn't answer. Because deep down, he knew. He knew he had crossed the line. He knew his pride had taken over. And he remembered the moment the Rock caught his kick, how easily, how calmly, how controlled the superstar had been. It haunted him. "He could have broken my leg," Kelton muttered. "But he didn't," the captain said. "And that's the only reason you're not in jail." Kelton lowered his head, shame burning through him. I just wanted respect," he whispered. "You don't earn respect by attacking people," Rourke replied. "Especially not unarmed citizens. Especially not the Rock, for God's sake." Kelton buried his face in his hands. For the first time in years, he felt truly small. Later that afternoon, Dwayne's phone buzzed with a call from the Los Angeles Police Department. "Mr. Johnson, this is Captain Rourke. I'd like to request a private meeting with you to discuss the incident." The Rock agreed. They met at a quiet conference room inside the precinct. No cameras. No reporters. Just a few officers, the captain, and Dwayne. "Mr. Johnson," Rourke began, "I want to personally apologize for what happened yesterday. That officer's actions were unacceptable and do not represent this department." The Rock nodded. "I appreciate that, Captain." Rourke continued, "Officer Kelton has been suspended. There will be a full investigation. We want to make this right." Dwayne leaned forward. "I'm not here for revenge. I'm not here to ruin someone's life. I just want accountability. And change." The captain listened carefully. "There are a lot of good officers out there," the Rock continued. "But one wrong action, one unnecessary kick, destroys trust for everybody." Rourke nodded slowly. Dwayne took a breath. "I want to speak to Kelton." The room fell silent. "Are you sure?" the captain asked. "Yes." Rourke hesitated, then motioned for an officer to bring Kelton in. Kelton entered the room with his eyes glued to the floor. He looked nothing like the aggressive, ego-driven officer from the day before. He looked like someone who had spent the entire night drowning in regret. When he finally looked up, the Rock locked eyes with him. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then Dwayne said quietly, "Sit down." Kelton obeyed immediately. The Rock studied him. "Why did you try to kick me?" Kelton swallowed hard. I lost control. I felt threatened." "I wasn't threatening you," the Rock said. "I know," Kelton admitted. I realize that now." "You tried to hurt me," the Rock continued. "Even after I stepped back. Even after I tried to talk to you." Kelton's voice cracked. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up. I embarrassed myself. I embarrassed the department. I embarrassed the city. He lowered his head again. Officer Kelton, The Rock said, you didn't embarrass anyone except yourself. But you almost hurt someone who wasn't doing anything wrong. And you could have hurt someone much weaker than me. Kelton wiped his eyes. I wish I could take it back, he whispered. You can't, Dwayne replied. But you can learn from it. Kelton nodded. Then The Rock said something nobody expected. I'm not pressing charges. Everyone in the room looked up. Kelton's eyes widened. You're not. No, The Rock said firmly. But I want something from you. Kelton straightened. Anything. I want you to go through retraining. Mandatory anger management. De-escalation classes. And community service. Kelton nodded quickly. I'll do all of it. And I want you to apologize publicly, not to me, but to the people who feel afraid when they see a badge. Kelton hesitated for only a second before nodding again. I will. The Rock stood. Kelton slowly rose to his feet. Thank you, Kelton whispered. For giving me a second chance, even when I didn't deserve one. The Rock gave a small, respectful nod. Make it count. Kelton swallowed hard. I will. 2 days later, the LAPD held a press conference. Kelton stood at the podium, visibly nervous, in front of cameras, reporters, and thousands watching online. He took a deep breath. My name is Officer Daniel Kelton. And I'm here to take responsibility for my actions. He explained everything. His mistake, his aggression, his fear, his ego. He admitted fault. He apologized to the public. And then he said, I want to thank Dwayne Johnson for not only showing restraint during the incident, but for giving me a chance to be better instead of destroying my future. The internet reacted instantly. People were shocked. Some were impressed. Others felt emotional. And many praised The Rock for handling the situation with maturity and grace. But the best moment came later that evening. Dwayne posted a video to his followers. He stood in his home gym, wearing a simple t-shirt, looking directly into the camera. I've seen the reactions, he said. I've seen the comments. And I want to say this, strength isn't about how hard you can hit. Strength is how well you can control your power. He continued. The officer who attacked me made a mistake. A serious one. But he's taking responsibility. He's learning. And that's what matters. And finally, if you're watching this, remember, don't let pride push you into doing something you'll regret. And don't be afraid to grow from your mistakes. Within minutes, millions had shared the video. People called it inspirational. And surprisingly, many even praised Officer Kelton for owning up to his actions. Months passed. Kelton completed his retraining. He did community service in underserved neighborhoods. He worked with kids, listened to their stories, and learned the importance of humility. For the first time in his career, he felt connected to the people.